So, I've begun to realize that it really doesn't matter any action you take, it really just matters who's doing it. So, with that said, I'm just gonna trust the certain things that come to me and make these videos. And one thing that came to me when I was thinking of filming this specific episode, or I don't even know what these are at this point, the episodes of my life, or just go back to the basics of what I did a long time ago and see what comes of it, but like kind of amp it up to a 10. So I'm just gonna start the videos by saying, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy, and you are whole, powerful, strong, loving, harmonious, and happy. Remember that. And then I'm going to get into the topic of the video. What is even going on with me, man? It feels like I'm going schizo in a fucking like. See, like right there, I don't know what that was. I guess that's just a result of me literally trying to figure out my own method way too much. And I know this better than anybody. There's no point to do that. Years ago, I just went all in, and that's even before, the Power of I Am or Eric existed. But I've also known, or come to know at least, come to know from my own journey and how this whole spiritual game works of being a spirit and realizing you're having a human experience works is that you kind of go on this path of constant remembrance. Like every day feels like it's a constant deja vu of remembering who you are, and old parts of you will come back, things that you don't even know. Like, for example, for me, I've been having dreams about people that I've met, like, 10 to 12 years ago, that just don't even play any significance really even in my DNA anymore. Like, I'm sure at the point in time when I've met them and had cool experiences or whatever experiences they were at the time, that it really has no significance anymore now, at least, right? Or how your conscious mind would look at it. But it's like things, little things like that, and those parts are end up being still the same pieces of an identity that was formed over your life that needs to be let go in order to create newer parts of your new timeline life that you want to align with. There you go. That's the railway of explaining things, or even expressing how I've gone through this journey. I really don't know. It must be something in my self concept. I don't know how people listen to me and think like I'm wise sometimes. Like I laugh at it because I don't really feel these things, but I'm glad that the things I say help individuals out there, because that's why I do this, man. Because if I wasn't doing this right now, I don't even know. Maybe it would just stay in my little journal. But I also wanted to say, if you notice that, I would say that yesterday, it doesn't count as what I'm about to say, but I'll say fair, it kind of does, is probably the only day I genuinely forgot to record a video. But here's the thing, I can't even say that again for this video because it wasn't forgotten. I kind of got into some stuff in the 3D with my partner, and the time extended past late at night, and honestly that's on me too. I shouldn't wait to film these videos like super super late, but also I kind of had this idea in mind that I would sort of vlog my day, but my days have been really kind of the same, at least in the physical sense. But mentally, man, I'm doing everything that I want to do and creating a lot of stuff. But I do have some interesting things within the works in a physical sense. But as for my actual desired reality, I'm already living it in my head. So this kind of just becomes a challenge where it's like a daily journal, or it's not even a challenge because I could do a daily video for 350 days, but I want to put like some good intentions behind it when people come by and click a video or see it. I want you to get some value out of it. So maybe I just talk about some strategies I'm using as the old self tries to pop back up. But yeah, man, that's actually an example of what happened yesterday, man. The 3D literally, it starts tweaking when you claim a new reality internally, and I swear it's this thing that it like activates in people. You'll know it activates in the environment. Little synchronicities will happen where things just start to kind of look like they're going wrong. You know what I've noticed from my own life is it's always been things not directly correlated with me. And I had to switch hands right there because gotta talk with my hands. I'm Italian, right? Nah, that's the thing I've heard my whole life, is that Italians talk with their hands, and I'm part Italian. But um One thing that I've noticed for me is that my life doesn't necessarily become chaotic when I'm manifesting a completely different timeline. It's like the things around me become chaotic, but like it feels like there's this protective bubble over me. So in my personal, like, I've been through crazy tower moments and wild like pain and traumatic events as the next person who incarnates on Earth. But what I'm saying is basically like my life has become this thing where it's like there's a bubble around me, and I don't know what in my self concept causes that, but everything naturally and neutrally usually just works out in my favor. So I've never kind of delve deep within myself to kind of find where that belief is that things protect me. But I notice whenever I'm creating a new timeline, going on a new business venture, or even starting a new career that I've manifested or something, it's like the things going on around that career are chaotic. Whether it be like, and this isn't to say anyone I work with specifically or mention any names, but it's like, for an example, I'll get hired onto a new job, and it's like the how I'm being trained is like super chaotic, or there are certain days where I shouldn't be left alone for the training, and then I'm left alone those days, but the entities within that given timeline are like, but Rel's got it because he's a beast, because it matches my self concept. But it's also funny because it's like I really don't want to do it. It's kind of that thing how people say the whole cliche of like, oh, God doesn't give you anything you can't handle in your life. I mean, since we know we're one with God and we're source, it's really funny that that's the irony of it. Is it's very true. It's never been like I haven't been able to handle the situations that manifest, but it's also like it's weird that they are like oddly chaotic surrounding me but not directly involving me, because it's never events that pull me out of my character. It's more just me laughing as the observer, like, why the heck is this happening? But I've always noticed that sometimes. And that's also yesterday why the video didn't get made, is it was just like this such unnecessary conversation that I was kind of in, and maybe it was a necessary conversation, but it was just like an old loop or pattern. And now that I've started to identify it, it's already even felt like in this now moment that it's lost like weight to even be created again. So we'll just see. But that's kind of been the whole thing I've been going through recently, and I'm just kind of just like rolling with it and actively staying in the reality that I wish to experience. Like, I'm not even paying any mind to what's going on in the 3D or even where I'm at. I'm already at my end. Even when making this video, I'm already in the place. Just like the Conscious Overdrive, man. It's like at the beginning of the series, I was in the environment that I was trying to get manifest out of, while saying that I'm already in this new place with everything I need and everywhere I need to be, blah, 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 blah. And I was there, it worked out. So, doing essentially the same thing that I was doing in the Conscious Overdrive thing. I might just make these videos like a positive motivational speaking video and just move on. And again, if I hit my daily meditations, like I said in a recent video I was going to do alongside these again, then I'll mention in the video like what I witnessed after, or the peace, or the things that I felt. And and I do want to try to get a daily meditation, but that also feels like even it's like I've already disciplined myself to do that. I've already meditated like daily for 2 months straight and stuff like that, and never missed a day of meditation, especially when I was manifesting. But I just feel like I'm at a point now in my journey where I don't need to even manifest, which is hard because for this daily challenge, I kind of want to see what would happen if I was to meditate daily for almost an entire year. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I don't really need to do it. So that's kind of what I'm battling. So maybe I'll just consistently throw in a meditation if my body really feels like that's what I think I'll do for this challenge, as I'm pushing my consciousness overboard again to solidify that new identity. I think I'll just meditate when the idea comes to me. I'll go and do it and see what's experienced. But instead of trying to force literally every single detail, I think I need to get out of the way of forcing and get back into whatever my natural flow state is, while also still doing the things, because I do genuinely want to stay in my desired reality and kind of stop giving the 3D any validation, and just shift my consciousness over into the higher perspective where it's like, okay, I'm no longer afraid of quote unquote people thinking I sound schizo or not talking like a human, whatever. I've already proved this stuff to me for years, so I don't need to prove it anymore to self. I just need to stop like almost like lowering myself. Like that's what I'm doing in my day to day. If I should give you or want to give you guys an update, that's genuinely what's happening. I'll be on this high energy, have synchronicities happen. Man, I've had people in the past call me the Akashic record boy. All of this naturally, not seeking it, and I'm over here still like I revert back and be struggling with the first two steps of manifestation. And that's what I'm saying is it's like it's weird. It's like my challenge that I face is like I teeter totter back and forth between my higher self and lower self, but my lower self is so close to my higher self in theory of what it says, of like what embodying your higher self would be, that it makes it hard to distinguish. Hence is why I do a challenge like the conscious overdrive, because then when I'm intentionally setting a line, it gives me a clear distinction between what is my higher infinite God self and the lower self that is wise and very, very wise to other people, but also makes it almost has its own built-in trick and trap of like seeming like it's my higher self. I feel like a lot of people may face that, so hopefully I just explain that in a good way where if you have a like lower self that almost plays like it's very, very conscious, but it's not entirely you being authentically you. If you were to let go of like every aspect, even the wisdom, it's like you revert back to the factory default settings of like just allowing reality to, you claim it and it happens. It's like my lower self that'll be like, oh, it's wise with all this information, almost traps itself worse because it thinks it has an intellectual understanding, which then you have to break down another layer of that. So it's like, and I still manifest and do crazy things, but I mean, it's not to the level that someone who everything I've studied and experienced should really be doing. Like, reality should be borderline magic 25/8 for me, but I like hinder myself by playing both sides. Like, yeah. Hopefully, I'm making sense to someone out there. You see what I'm saying? You see how I'm saying like, hopefully, I'm making sense. The higher self me wouldn't say, hopefully, I'm making sense. If this video is meant, if my content is meant to find the right people who will understand and resonate with the message will pick it up. I don't need to say, hopefully, I'm making sense. I just need to be, I'm making sense. I am making sense. You get what I'm saying? And just embody that and see how my brain kind of shifts and what comes of it with everything I've learned. So yeah, that's it. That's it for today. And yeah, sorry for not getting the video out yesterday. I let myself succumb to the 3D for a little bit, but I'm back on track now, and I'm gonna see if I can fit in a meditation today because I genuinely told myself, okay, tomorrow then deserves a meditation. So we'll see. All right, love y'all. Stay up out there, stay strong, and create your desired reality, or align to it because it's already created. But yeah, anyways, I'm out. Peace.